When we think of the word God, images of a supreme being watching over the universe often come to mind. Yet modern physics introduces us to something just as awe-inspiring, a concept known as the unified field, an invisible sea of energy and potentiality that permeates everything. Are these two ideas truly different? Or could they be describing the same ultimate reality in different languages? Let's dive deep into how science, spirituality, and ancient religions all point to the same fundamental truth: that everything is one, and that oneness can be experienced, perhaps even harnessed, through the ancient art of meditation. Connect to your higher self. Focus to motivate and enrich your life, and inspire others to find their true path. Join me on a journey to discover your power and higher purpose. What is the unified field? In modern theoretical physics, especially through the lens of quantum mechanics and string theory, scientists seek what's called a theory of everything. This would unify all forces of nature: gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, into a single coherent framework. What emerges is the concept of the unified field, a vast field of energy that lies beneath the visible universe. Some physicists, such as John Hagelin and followers of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, even suggest this field is not just physical, but pure consciousness, a field of infinite potential from which everything arises. Sound familiar? Religious and spiritual parallels. Across millennia, different religions and spiritual systems have described a source, a presence that is eternal, all-encompassing, omnipotent, omnipresent, and divine. In Hinduism, this is Brahman, the unchanging infinite field of pure being from which all creation flows. In Taoism, it is the Tao, the way, the force that flows through all life and matter. In Christian mysticism, it is the Holy Spirit, omnipresent and life-giving. In Buddhism, it is emptiness or shunyata, the boundless potential of the unmanifest. Indigenous and shamanic traditions often speak of the Great Spirit or the web of life, an interconnected field of energy that links all beings. These traditions describe a universal field, not always in scientific language, but in deeply experiential, mystical terms. And here's the key: they also taught ways to access it. Meditation as the gateway. Meditation, in its many forms, has always been the bridge between the individual self and the universal source. Science now shows that during deep meditative states, the brain enters theta and delta waves. The default mode network deactivates. And practitioners often report feelings of oneness, timelessness, and universal love. Physicist and meditation researcher Dr. Fred Travis has shown how transcendental meditation practices seem to quiet the noise of the ego and align the brain with something greater, perhaps, this field of pure being. The Upanishads say, "As rivers flow into the ocean and lose their name and form, so the knower of the self merges with the absolute." Could this absolute be the very same unified field physicists describe today? Why it matters now. In a world so divided by belief systems, national borders, and economic classes, the recognition of a unified field of consciousness might be the quantum leap we've been waiting for. If we are already connected, not just in metaphor, but in fundamental energetic reality, what changes? Compassion isn't just moral, it becomes scientific. Intuition isn't just spiritual, it becomes neurological. Prayer isn't superstition, it becomes a method of tuning the field. When we access this field, even briefly, we experience what mystics call divine union, and what physicists might call a resonance with the source code of reality. God and the unified field, two names for the same truth. Is God simply an anthropomorphized name for the unified field? Or is the unified field simply the scientific description of the divine presence that sages and prophets have spoken of for millennia? The spoken and written word of the history of humans of many cultures and places on Earth has made reference to the existence of a source of universal energy and connection of all that exists. Although this field has been referred to by different names by many cultures over thousands of years' time, the description of the nature and essence of this field by these apparently disparate civilizations is amazingly similar. A constant in the description of this field is that connection with it is highly desirable and potentially available to everyone and everything. In fact, it is believed that not only can we achieve a connection to and utilize the field, but that we are part of it. The premise of this thesis is that the unified field discovered by modern physicists is the same field that was discovered and accessed by these civilizations in the history of mankind. What was once considered by scientists a metaphysical concept of considerable doubt is now being embraced by various scientific disciplines as an entity whose existence may be proven by generally accepted scientific protocols of experimentation and research. The unified field theory is still unproven today. Unfortunately, even among those of us who embrace the metaphysical concept of the field, being cognizant of the field and enjoying the benefits of it is not a given. However, many of us have been in contact with the field without even knowing it. Perhaps the answer lies beyond words. Perhaps in silence, in stillness, we can know this presence, not as a theory, but as direct experience. And maybe, just maybe, this experience is what the future of human evolution is calling us toward, the path forward. You don't have to be a scientist to understand the unified field. You don't have to be religious to believe in God. But you can begin to access this living, intelligent force within you and all around you. All it takes is the willingness to go within, to be still, to listen. And in that sacred space between thought and awareness, you may just touch the fabric of the universe. If this resonated with you, consider joining the global movement of consciousness explorers, seekers, scientists, and mystics alike, all walking toward the same truth. We are not separate. We are not random. We are one. To be kept in the loop for more motivation, inspiration, and sharing of mystical ideas that can spark your spirit, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Let's go on this journey together to create and to become 1% better each day.